AI in journalism, the future of reporting. Artificial intelligence has been on the rise in recent years, and it has its tentacles in every sector of the economy, significantly impacting society. But while this help changes various aspects of society, it snatches jobs from various people, including journalists. The reason for this we'll be discussing in this video. It's no longer a surprise that AI will soon take over every aspect, including journalism. Back then, we experienced town criers, but where are they now? The rise in literacy and the development of new phenomena like radio, newspapers, television, and the internet have brought about change, and we all welcomed it, although the town crier got eliminated. AI is no different. We have to acknowledge that it's been causing significant shifts in the media landscape for some years already, either directly or indirectly. One clear and direct way in which it has affected the media is the emergence of big data journalism. That's a positive change in the sense that it covers everything from crunching through data in big leaks to examining consequences of the climate crisis. Without these powerful algorithms, journalism would have likely not been able to successfully comb through and decipher the vast data at their disposal, to identify the telling statistical patterns and use them to tell compelling and useful stories. But with this advancement, it won't be long before we start seeing a disclaimer on each article that indicates that it was written by humans. Media outlets also use AI for many back-office tasks like content recommendation, transcribing interviews, subtitling videos, and analyzing audience interests and preferences, among other usages. With AI penetrating into the newsroom, it has impacted the editorial side as well as the business side of the media. AI is also being used to boost their SEO ranking, indirectly influencing the media landscape and thereby increasing the flow of revenue to media organizations. Journalism would have retained its uniqueness a little bit if AI influence ended here, but no. With the release of more sophisticated large language models, AI is now aimed at penetrating the heart and soul of journalism, and that is content creation. Just as the ability to converse with others in an understandable language defines you as human, being able to write, speak, or narrate stories in a captivating way defines who a journalist is. For a good journalist, nothing beats the joy of creating a coherent and compelling story out of a raw haystack of ideas, words, and information. But AI is now poised to snatch that joy completely. If you don't believe AI will erase journalists, then Build is here to make you believe it. As part of a separate and immediate £100 million cost-cutting program aimed at restoring profitability, the biggest-selling newspaper in Europe plans to replace a range of editorial jobs with artificial intelligence. In an email sent to all staff, the owner, Axel Springer, informed them that the newspaper would unfortunately be parting ways with colleagues who have tasks that in the digital world are performed by AI and/or automated processes. Springer added that the roles of some editors, print production staff, sub-editors, proofreaders, and the photo editors will no longer exist as they did earlier. The message followed an announcement by the chief executive Matthias Döpfner that the publisher was to be a purely digital media company. Matthias specifically added that AI tools such as ChatGPT could make independent journalism better than it ever was, or replace it. He predicted that AI would soon be better at the aggregation of information than human journalists, and said that only publishers who created the best original content, such as investigative journalism and original commentary, would survive. Build is not the first news publisher to look at artificial intelligence. BuzzFeed announced it aimed to use AI to enhance content and online quizzes, while the Daily Mirror and Daily Express in the UK also explored the use of artificial intelligence. While this is a big win for media outlet owners, don't let us forget the importance of the human element in journalism. Skilled journalists provide critical analysis, context, and ethical decision-making that can never be found in AI. Although many expect that the advent of this AI won't affect the interest and demand of high-quality, human-generated news, of course, the demand would remain, and many people might even be willing to pay premium prices to access them. But it's unfortunate that that kind of content might not be available again. Why? In the sense that journalism might wish to create genuine content, but their bosses wouldn't give it a go, mainly because AI cuts down on costs and is fast, so it's a good way to minimize costs while still being competitive. And if this trend keeps on, it will get to the point where there won't be professional journalists to create good human-generated content. That's AI influence. While AI's presence in the newsroom has been hyped to liberate journalists from demeaning tasks, only for them to focus on new challenging ones and bring about new developments, it's not so. Just as the rollout of digital technology and the internet did away with some jobs like town crier and postal service in many parts of the world, the advent of AI in the newsroom would render many redundant as well. It won't be long before the hum and buzz of newsrooms become a folktale, replaced almost by workerless organizations. In this current state, even if AI became the main operator, some top media outlets will likely retain their star reporters and columnists. This news celebrity's job would be to edit machine-driven content, make it more human and accessible, and also maintain the face of the outlet. However, what is the state of junior, mid-range, or less famous journalists? Many of these will likely be handed their sack letter without any misdeed. And if perhaps some were retained, they would stay under more precarious conditions and at lower pay. Many may be forced to join the bloated ranks of the gig economy in the media, where they'll have to increasingly work like machines in order to compete with the machines. If you think this sounds unbelievable, let's check out past trends. Be aware that AI wasn't developed to this extent back then, and we only have advancements in digital technology. Since the 1990s, the workforce in the media sector have been decreasing, mainly because of the digitalization of the media. Back in 1990, American newspapers reportedly employed close to 500,000 people, but that report took a sharp turn in 2016, when it stood at 183,000. While over 60% of the decline is glaring, the volume of work each journalist is expected to do has risen dramatically. Beyond the devastating effect on employment and job security, there are profound social and environmental consequences of the use of AI in journalism. Chatbots not only consume vast amounts of energy, but they can also remain notoriously inaccurate, even delusional. And rather than admit that they don't know the answer to a question, they often simply invent facts. There have been several notions of ChatGPT offering wrong answers to prompts, even if it gives wrong answers to some mathematical equations, not to mention information that requires research. Until these wrongs are changed, the use of AI in journalism is risky and time-wasting, because properly fact-checking text would take as long as researching them in the first place. Remember, it's not humans versus machines. It's humans utilizing machines for a more informative and engaging news experience. If that's upheld, then you shouldn't fear AI taking your job. Do you agree with us? Let us know in the comments section.